Ray from RaySunited. The video I released about Pi being, or Pi Network being an experiment has rattled a few people. And it means some of you don't actually watch the substance of videos and you just jump to conclusion based on the title. So watch this and read between the lines. Don't look at it at face value. This is courtesy of Sheriff Network. They posted it. They didn't do the interview. The interview was done elsewhere, but I'll give them the props. Sheriff Network is a big channel. So I'm just using a bit of their footage for you to see, listen to it, watch it precisely, listen to the substance of what Chenjao Fan and Nicholas Kokalis are saying. Don't just jump to conclusion. All right, let's do this.
Elon Musk buying Twitter, and I just asked this because he tweeted out and was talking about, because myself buying Twitter kind of expedites the timeline for X, the Everything app. And the Everything app is supposed to have, you know, a crypto wallet integrated with it, and you know, work and play and social and all this kind of stuff, along with payments. And it kind of sounds like that could be maybe even a competitor to Pi Network. Is that how you guys think about it?
We don't see things as competitor, and this is so new. This is so new industry. Every type of innovation is welcome, and also the fact that, you know, I don't know what Elon Musk thinks about this, but the fact that he have Twitter and then also interested in crypto as demonstrated. The fact that these two, social network and also crypto, merged together seems to be in line with what I was describing just now. Like in the social, vector, there might be innovations using cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and in a sense, the strategy he proposed makes sense. So he said that we need to take Twitter off the public market so that we don't have these external dependencies where Twitter may want to take some non-conventional, non-consensus moves, which if you do it as a public company, you have to look at how the market price of the stock of Twitter would go. So removing those external interferences, then you can try to focus on innovation that will be a long-term innovation. On the short term, if it was maybe loses money, less advertising, something less about the company, but in the long term it creates a better product. And that's, I think, what he was trying to do there.
Yeah, so before Dr. Nicholas continues, let me just come in. So what I was saying in that particular video, which most of you tend not to pay attention to, is obviously the fact that Twitter being a public company before would have meant that Elon Musk wouldn't be able to do any of the things he's been doing now, the changes he's inculcated into the network. But right now you can see X, obviously he's had the ability to change the name from Twitter to X. He's had the capability to be able to inculcate certain things like blue tick, the terms and conditions around it. And of course, subscriptions, content creators. All of those were done because of the fact that he took it off the public domain and made it a private entity. And I'm talking about Elon Musk. So let's talk about it. And they're all experimentation. Let's see what Nicholas Kokalis says, and then we will go into what the interviewer actually said and them not denying it. So please read between the lines, people. Read between the lines.
Money, less advertising, something less about the company, but in the long term it creates a better product. And that's, I think, what he was trying to do there. In a sense, this is similar to our strategy for enclosed network. So we have the enclosed network right now to completely eliminate all the possibilities of people trying to use Pi for quick success of X, of Y, of Z, and focus on long-term utility, long-term the usefulness for the world.
So what again Nicholas is saying, you can see that he's saying that in a sense it's like what Pi Network are doing. So when I said Pi Network is an experiment, it is an experiment. And when it's when you're doing something and you don't know what the outcome could be, but you're just trialing and erroring, and you get bugs here and there, and you put the network in safe mode so you'll be able to undertake certain simulations. That is a form of experimentation. So when I say that, all these fanatics of Pi Network who don't tend to open their eyes, unfortunately, just not using the brain that they've been given to ascertain and deduce what has been said, they always conclude that, oh, what's Ray talking about? Oh, we respect you, but please don't say this, don't say that. Listen, read between the lines, people. Read between the lines.
And all the
I love it.
And all these social applications, it's not something that you try it once, it goes very viral. It takes so many attempts. That's what I meant by attempts. So many iterations, so many different versions.
Exactly. So many iterations, so many attempts. That's experimentation, people. That is trial or error. You don't just do something and think it's going to work immediately. People are talking about Bitcoin, all the other mobile mining cryptos, copying Pi. There's no copycats here. Even if there are copycats, they will fail. You have to have something different, something that makes you stand out. And Pi, they initiated the mobile mining crypto. None of the mobile mining cryptos have been successful so far. So what we want is for them to be successful, and Pi is one of them. You understand? Pi is the first, hence is the biggest. You understand? So let's not get emotional and sentimental about it. Let's be rational and let's think pragmatically. Do you get what I'm saying? All right, let's listen.
Versions, how to integrate it, and the more developers join the space to give more attempts, the higher chance the whole industry are going to actually find the real utility that every day you hear drivers talking about. I'm using this thing, crypto-based service for this social, experience instead of just only on exchanges.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of I watched this documentary actually about Elon Musk and starting SpaceX, and he iterated many, many, many times on the rocket ship to have, consumer flight. But he blew up the first 3 rockets on accident, right? So nothing's ever perfect the first time. But if you want to have true long-term sustainable innovation, I also love the analogy of, him taking Twitter off the public market, because the things that he'll do to that company.
Now listen carefully. Listen carefully from here, please. Listen carefully. I don't need anybody being all emotional and crying that Ray said this, Ray said that. Listen carefully, please, and let's move on.
After he purchases and go private, he will have if he still had public board members and public shareholders to a fiduciary obligation to them, the experiments that he would run and the innovation, while it might, affect the stock price negatively, it could actually be long-term, a net benefit. And it's pretty clear that that's what he's going to be doing. He's going to be doing a lot of experimental, fun, innovative things, a lot like what you guys are doing with the Pi.
He's going to be doing experimental things, some innovative stuff, a lot like what you guys are doing. Experimental, people. Experimental. And the core team, they didn't deny it either.